Hey guys, welcome to our Miami Redhawks Dynasty, playing against the Akron Zips. But first, we have a couple players coming for a visit this week. We have a cornerback who is a blazing fast 95 speed. He's got some nice abilities, both mental and physical, already just off the rip. And we also have a D tackle. We definitely are in need of some defensive linemen because we are not getting a ton of sacks in this season. So having a little bit better player should help out a bit. And Tim Gizzy might be that guy. As here we come out of the tunnel trying to continue to keep the win streak alive. We're at 8 games right now at 8-0. Akron is 5-3 on the season, and they're one of the better teams in the MAC conference. We do have a pretty significant overall advantage though, 82 overall to 76. As we're just about set to get underway here in Oxford, as we only have one more home game left in this season after this game. Lionel Billip Williams will take it out, and he finds his way out to about the 20-yard line to start our first drive. Kevin Davis, spotlight player to look at this year, up over 500 yards rushing as of the last game. And we'll see if he can add to that total. As on the first play of the game, we'll hand it off to him, and he's got a nice jump of speed up for 17 yards and a first down. Kevin Davis has been a super clutch player for us all year at this point. And we would just love if we had a little bit better of an O-line to be able to give him more opportunities to rush for more than 100 yards. As sometimes I feel like we just don't have the best opportunity to be able to pound the rock. Throwing that one deep, it is inaccurate and knocked incomplete. Tyler Toledo's definitely got to be throwing a better pass than that if we're going to be trying to move the chains here. That one is knocked incomplete, kind of covered so well from Elijah Davis and company, and that will bring up the punt situation. So McLaughlin sends this one deep, and that's a pretty decent punt. That was about the 17-yard line. Time for the defense to come out and see if they can hold this Zips offense. Yards per game totals are pretty even between the two clubs, so we'll see how it goes. As on the first play, in the backfield, Ethan McDowell. Great job for that TFL. Starting Ethan McDowell over there a few weeks ago at the defensive end spot. He has been a big upgrade for us, as that is going to be almost intercepted. Luke Evans. Oh, he had daylight right there. This man had the keys to the kingdom right here. And just almost took it house. I didn't realize that the pass had actually hit off of an offensive lineman immediately, it looks like. Yeah, he threw that pass, and it bounced off of the shoulder, and somehow was still a perfect bullet pass, though. I don't know, maybe it went through his shoulder. Either way, that should have been a pick for Luke Evans. With that in mind, we got to expect a pass on third down. And long, and he's going to get sacked under pressure from Eli Blakey. On the safety blitz, nobody picked him up, and he gets a massive sack to bring him down at the 6-yard line. Kind of believe it or not, that was Eli Blakey's first sack of the season. I'm kind of surprised that he's only had one. We really haven't had a lot of sacks, though, in general, to be honest. As Cam Perry's going to get really nothing and we'll start in midfield. But first and 10, we'll motion a guy over to start this drive here. And going to be throwing it under pressure, and it's incomplete. Tyler Toledo taking a nice shot there. Don't want our quarterback taking hits like that. As we'll go instead with Kevin Davis for a huge gain, and he's already up over 30 yards and 2 carries. Kevin Davis has been incredible so far. Just barely gets it off to avoid the sack. We are just not able to withstand this pressure here from the Zips defensive lineman. So it's going to be a big third down. Throwing it, and it's going to be intercepted. He overthrew him, and it goes right to the safety. I feel like we had an opportunity there to squeeze that one in there and get the first down. But Tyler Toledo is not on fire right now, and he just threw that right at the defender. Not even close there, Tyler. Dang. When looking at it again, it's just a really good play from number 3 to get away with this. But he just kind of stops moving in front of Reggie Virgil, and it makes it, and just that little bump right there makes it just past his outstretched hand. and right into the safety's hands. So I feel like that one maybe could have been even a 50-50 call on number 3 over there for PI, but they're going to let the boys play, and that comes up with a takeaway. So we'll see how the defense responds. Can we get a stop? Great open field tackle, Luke Evans. Such a dog out there. And you have a guy like Luke Evans on some of these plays. You just absolutely love to see it. And instead, they're going to go with a fake jet, and the little handoff up the middle gets about 3 yards. I think this is when we go again with pressure. We try to send it pretty quick here. Throwing it over the middle. It's caught. And a big hit over the middle from Luke Evans afterward. But Rayon Streeter missed the tackle. We can't be having missed tackles like that. They make a huge, huge impact in the game. And instead, just gonna meet him right in the gap. Jalil Reshad. Love to see Jalil Reshad playing like that. Man among boys, as down he goes. Mr. Ellerby getting in with another sack. If that counts as a half sack, he'll only have 5 on the season, but somewhere between 5 to 5.5. Dalvin Ellerby. We also started him the same game that we started Ethan McDowell, and he's already catching up to Ty Thompson's total number of sacks. As that is a deep throw over the middle and a huge gain. Taj Bullock hits his receiver in stride right over the middle. Nobody was there to get that guy, and they're going no huddle to keep this tempo up. Can we stay in front of them? We don't want momentum to shift that bad. An interception and then an immediate score of points? That would not be good, as he'll just throw it out of bounds. Great coverage. No one was open. 2nd down and 10. Got some people over the middle. It is caught for the touchdown. Adams is going to haul in the pass. It was a beautiful throw from Taj Bullock. And the Zips are in front on the Alex Adams touchdown catch. No pressure at all against this quarterback, as that was a beautiful throw. Definitely could have waited a little bit to throw that more to the back corner of the end zone, where he would have had even more space to throw it. But we got to capitalize on those opportunities when they throw those 50-50 balls. But instead, we'll have a deficit to start this game, and I feel like it's been a while since we've really had a true deficit in this game. As we'll start out at the 22-yard line for our next drive. 1st and 10. See what we got going on here. Just going to barely get rid of it. 2nd down and 10. Throwing quick to the out route, and Reggie Virgil's got a nice catch. And a 1st down to the 40-yard line. 19 yards on the pitch and catch. And Kevin Davis, trying to push the pile forward, gets a few yards on it. And it's 2nd down now. Has a guy. Beat him deep. It's thrown, and it's Tony Purdom who's going to get the catch, and he's gone for the touchdown. He beat his man off the press, and Tony Purdom finally getting back in the receiving category, as he's going to get a touchdown on a huge, huge play. Tyler Toledo saw that he had basically destroyed him on the press, and he just needed to lay in an accurate pass, and boy did he. So we're going to tie this game up 7-all. I mean, this is a big game for us to win. We've got recruits coming to this game. One of them I think we should get for sure, but the other one is a okay-ish 50-50. If we have a bad game here, we could lose him. So we don't want to lose a guy like whatever these 4 stars are that we're trying to bring in here, as that's a great tackle for only a gain of 1. 2nd down and 9 upcoming, as the first quarter is almost over. It's going to be knocked down, incomplete. Luke Evans again with a deflection. Luke, my boy, you gotta get the interception, though. That was also, yet again, another opportunity for a pick, as he's going to go down for a sack. Ty Thompson heard about Ethan McDowell and Dalvin Ellerby coming in here and getting some TFLs and sacks, and he said he wanted a piece as well, getting a big sack, as our defensive line has really come alive over the last few weeks. As the sack brings us to the end of the first quarter in a close matchup. In MAC conference play, it's 7-all. The punt is off, back for Cam Perry, deep 2 return, and he'll get to about the 44-yard line. 1st and 10. Go Wildcat here this time, and it's a beautiful call because Kevin Davis goes right up the middle for a massive gain. I mean, man, do we love that when he just goes crazy like that. And Tyler is going to get about a yard. Not really anything doing on that. Going to try to go back on the ground game with Kevin, and he gets absolutely smacked. So third down situation. Throwing it. It is incomplete. Just a terrible throw. Hit as he throws it. And it's one of those ones that we're going to have to go for it. We don't have a 54-yard field goal. We can't hit that. So we'll have to see if we can convert some other way. As throwing it, it is dropped. Just straight dropped. This pass was straight in his hands. Right here. He's got two hands on the ball. This should absolutely be a catch. And he just straight drops the ball. I mean, getting a better tight end is going to be a massive thing for us. Because that is huge. As wow, the cut move is filthy and the pursuit is terrible. And he gets all the way down to the 47-yard line. Wow, I don't even know what to say sometimes on some of these plays. As he's going to run with the QB and get the first down. Honestly, don't even know what to say sometimes. They are just driving down the field at will at this point. And that's going to be a penalty and a touchdown. I don't know where the person covering him actually went, but he didn't go anywhere near where the receiver was. Rayon Strader is supposed to be the one covering number 15. Oh, and Luke Evans is supposed to be covering the other one. And so they are just basically running into each other for the entirety of the play. And that's just a blown assignment. Like, that's not even Luke's fault, other than the fact that you shouldn't be running into your own guys. But sometimes a natural pick happens, and that is just a part of football. So unfortunate, but that's a big touchdown. 1 minute driving up basically the whole field. Can we find a way to get a stop? That has not been a very big opportunity for us, as we'll get a great return to the 26-yard line for Lionel. Got to find a way to get a stop. I remember Akron being a little bit tough before from some of the pressure that they had on their defensive line. As we'll get a nice little jet touch pass for about 8 yards on the play. Apparently just got to slow things down because we got to convert on the drives that we have. Wow, that was a shot after the play. I feel like that was definitely unnecessary, as he was already going down, but apparently it didn't matter anyway. So third down, we'll try to run the ball with Kevin Davis in a first down. Motion, trying to confuse the defense a little bit. Great throw out to Danny Dunlap with the stiff arm, and he's knocked out of bounds. Tyler Toledo was so accurate in his last game, and in this one, it's not the same thing. As he's definitely struggling against this zip defense. We're coming up with a second down now. Throwing over the middle for Tony Purdom for a first down. We'll motion our guy over again. Jet touches have been working great, but this time we're going to fake it off, and Tyler Toledo just gets hit by his own guy, or else that could have been such a massive play. I feel like from a time perspective standpoint, we want to take this thing down to the 2-minute. So we're taking this one down to the 2-minute warning. We'll throw it quick to Kevin Davis for a handful of yards to 3rd and inches. We want to be balanced with clock because we want to score, but we don't want to allow them too much time to be able to score themselves. We'll go with the direct snap out to Kevin Davis, and he is going to fight his way down to the 9-yard line. As he's already at 81 yards on the day here in the first half. It sets us up with a 1st and goal. And on the ground game, just going forward for a few more yards. Down to 15 seconds left. Up the middle, Kevin Davis touchdown. And we are going to tie the game back up with 12 seconds left in the half. That is a good drive, good clock management. They're not going to have very much time at all to be able to take an advantage. So, 1st and 10, they have maybe a play or two to decide what they're going to do, as they're going to decide to run the ball. Gets about a yard, and they'll just take this thing to the half. Our score, 14 apiece. Through 2 quarters of play, this is a very, very close battle. So 1st and 10, going with a fake draw, and it's almost intercepted though, Luke Evans. I mean, Luke Evans is in a zone assignment over here on number 4. He finds a way to still almost get there for an interception. That's just incredible awareness. And I mean, that might even count as a deflection, as they're going to run the ball, and a spin move from the running back gets him a nice 10-yard gain. Kind of been running multiple running backs deep, as they're going to run it, and he just goes straight through the hole and gets the first down. We had some bodies there, they just weren't there fast enough, as Charles is going to be successful with picking up that first down. Back to the ground game. Open field tackle for Silas Walters is beautiful, as it's a second down now. And they're going to go right back to the RPO game and the run for 5 more. Not a big fan of how easily they're moving the ball down the field, but we are stalling them to a third down situation. The run is not enough for the first. Perfect job to hold them at midfield. As long as they don't go for it, which it looks like the punt is away. That's a terrible punt, though. Goodness gracious. As we're going to get that down at the 28. So we're going to motion our receiver over to start the drive. Go right back with it, and he's just going to get smothered in the backfield from the slot corner or safety. Not a great way to start the drive, I'll tell you that much. Not a good way to start the drive. Brings up a second down and long. Throwing it over the middle. Nice catch to Reggie Virgil for about 10. Third down and 2. Throwing it over the middle. Caught Reggie Virgil and a first down. That is some hard nose catching and breaking tackles. That is a physical specimen right there. Gonna run the ball off with a QB, and Tyler's not getting much either, just about a yard. The way they play that 3-down line with one stand-up linebacker, it's been giving us fits for both games that we've played against them. But it's a third down and 6, motioning the tight end over, and the pitch is going to be there, but no one is fast enough at all. Try to catch him off guard, and it's going to be a punt. Really can't be doing that with your tight end, I guess. Just not enough speed out there for Connor Briggs. As we're going to punt it off, and that's a great angled punt out at the 7-yard line. I think that means this is one of the opportunities that we send to the house, just in case. And oh, I wish he would have got that pass off. That might have been a pick. We only get to call the same play twice in a game, so we're going to call them both here. We want to get them a little rattled. And that one, he's definitely rattled. Throws it into the dirt and incomplete. Ethan McDowell on the pressure on that one, making them just not feel comfortable. That's kind of the name of the game. Makes them make mistakes. As that is a great throw, and Rayon Strader's getting demolished by Adrian Norton. They go no huddle after the huge pickup, and they go right back to the ground in a TFL from Jalil Reshad. That was fantastic pursuit. It was just absolutely fantastic pursuit. Second down and 11. Going with play action, and down he goes for the sack. Rayon Strader on the corner blitz. It's a beautiful time to call it, as they went play action and didn't have enough time to complete it afterward. Third down and 19. Gonna throw this thing all the way downfield, and it's gonna be intercepted for Caleb Tubbs. And he's got some speed, breaks a tackle, and he's gonna reverse field. Down to midfield with the interception. Caleb Tubbs getting another interception. Just an ill-advised attempt there from their QB. Taj Bullock tried to heave that thing to the heavens. Threw it a little late. He needed to throw that thing so much earlier because they had him beat, but the arm strength wasn't good enough. So we'll get another opportunity to put up some points here, as Kevin Davis will get 4 yards on the carry. Second down, we'll go play action fake. Throwing it, it is caught. No, he dropped it. Reggie Virgil. Oh, there was so much space in front of him. There was so much space in front of him. And he's going to get the catch. What a nice play for Javon Tracy. Keeping the momentum going there. Good little throw. It is dropped. He slightly overthrew him, I guess. Good decision, because the tight end absolutely beat him real bad on that play, but doesn't matter apparently, as that's going to be a good throw over to Javon Tracy in a first down. Clock winding down at the end of this third quarter of play. See if we can move this down a little bit. I want him to cut a little earlier. But we'll just take the safe one over the middle for Theo Mellenostrom for 9 yards in the end of the third quarter. Still a tied game at 14 all. Defenses have really shown up over the last quarter. Second down now. Throwing it quick. It is caught for a first down to the 3-yard line. So it's a 1st and goal. Throwing it. Open guy. Touchdown for Connor Briggs. He finally holds on to it. This man has let us down 2 or 3 times in this game. But he doesn't let us down that time as he hauls in the touchdown catch to give us the lead here in the fourth quarter. So we have 4 sacks on the day right now, as that is going to be caught for a first down. Can we add to it? Can we get another sack or 2? As they'll go with the RPO, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. Dropping back to throw. It's caught. First down. Bobby Golden going off today. We don't want to be too aggressive, but we do want to send some blitzes here and there to keep them guessing. So we might send one here, as that is going to be caught, and it's a diving attempt for Rayon Strader, who's going to give up a touchdown. We literally just said we don't want to be so aggressive. And instead, it's a tie game. Taj Bullock throwing it just in time for him to be able to turn upfield and get that touchdown. That's at least our second drive of the day that's been an exactly 1-minute drive. But we'll get a good run up the middle for Kevin Davis. He's up over 100 yards on the day. Kind of wonder if we try this PA boot wheel again. It was kind of nasty the first time. This time it won't be, though, as we'll just have to throw it out of bounds to avoid the sack. I feel like we want to double team that edge guy and go with the direct snap, and it will be enough for the first. Good running. Kevin Davis has taken some hits, though. I think, unfortunately, we're going to have to put in, I'm thinking Danny Dunlap, to be honest. I think I want to put him in there. His change of direction, everything else is pretty nice. Then we'll just have Brunson in at the 2. I think Danny Dunlap has earned playing time. I think he's been playing very well. Let's see, can we get a drive going? And that's a good speed burst from Danny Dunlap, 8 yards. I mean, that is exactly what we have him there for. As it's going to be a fumble, and it's going to be picked up by the defense. He was dropping back to pass and didn't see anybody open. Went to go try to scramble out of the pocket. Should have done it a whole lot longer ago. As that is a massive, massive turnover. I mean, they have the ball in our, basically in our house. That is not good. But down he goes for the sack. We'll call a blitz and Kuwach. That's actually Hondru. We'll get back. What is happening? What kind of celebration is that? What was Corbin Hondru doing after the play? I mean, is that a technical foul? So if we look at the replay, Bullock fakes the handoff and gets taken down here. And then look, he stands up. Corbin sits basically on his head. And then proceeds to just continuously squat and jump up and down on the back of the quarterback's head. I mean, that would be an absolute brawl in real life. I mean, there's no way someone's getting away with that on the starting quarterback in a close game nonetheless, too. As there's a flag down. As, what's it going to be? Oh, it's going to be a hold. We were half wondering if that was roughing the passer. We're going to accept the penalty. The only reason we accept it to get him out of a third down is because we want to push him back. I mean, that allows us to be able to run it again. We'll run another one of those blitz plays again in hopes that it's fantastic. And it is, as it goes to 3rd and 25. Beautiful. And 3rd down. Under pressure, knocked down as he releases it, and it's no good to the turf. So they're lining up for a field goal. It says that the distance they need is another 3 to 4 yards. That this is slightly outside of his range. The kick is up, and it is no good. There's no way that was slightly outside of his range. That man drilled it halfway up the upright. From the literal middle field logo, going to Akron. I didn't even see the crossbar when it hit the net. Well, we escaped with one there, as we basically helped get another minute or so off the clock. And we'll go right back into the same situation that we were. Running the ball, as that one is a beautiful pickup from Danny Dunlop. We're going to continue to just try to milk clock. We don't really know how much we can actually survive against this offense. So we'll just do what we can do. Great pickup. Having a healthy running back in here with Danny Dunlop should really help our odds of getting some nice breakaway runs. That's another 4-yard gain is beautiful. Second down run with Danny Dunlop again. Powers his way forward to the 2-yard away marker. So we are 2 yards away and 2 minutes away from the end of this game. Running up the middle with Danny Dunlop. And he breaks off a nice gain and a first down. Danny Dunlop is gashing this defense right now. Great decision for us to let him come in here and play. As that time he loses a yard and a timeout is called for Akron. They're going to start using their timeouts now to try to have some time left. Not really sure how Danny is not tired yet. I feel like I would definitely be gassed. That is not a good gain and another timeout is called. We more or less just want to keep clock moving. I mean, we definitely want to score a touchdown, but we're going to go with the jet touch. It did not work at all. Somebody let him go free. And the last timeout is called. This is not an easy field goal, but we need to drill it. Kick is away. It's up. It's long enough, and it is good. Through the middle of the uprights as Dom is going to nail it. And we will have the lead with a minute and change left on the clock. No timeouts for Akron, as they're going to get one drive to win this game. 1 minute 10 seconds is the exact time that they will have. And I don't feel confident. They've scored multiple times in less than 1 minute or exactly 1 minute. That's the part that I don't feel confident about. As it's a 1st and 10 situation, throwing it, and it is going to be somehow not intercepted? You want to tell me how this is not intercepted? He's catching the ball and he's a full multiple yards away from being out of bounds. They are not going to review it. This could be one of the most absurd things we've seen. As they are just dropping back, and there's a massive amount of free area. Wow, he could have ran with that for a long time. That had to be the game allowing us to have a break there for not allowing us to have that interception. Dumping it off. Just enough to get the first for Taj Bullock in the no huddle. Offense will start, and it's 2nd down and 10 after the spike. Trying to push it deep. Nobody open, just an underneath guy, and why is Ty Thompson just seizing over there in the corner? I don't at all like whatever that was, because that was not good, and that's a beautiful throw. Holy smokes, what a throw from Taj Bullock. They're going no huddle. This is not good. This is not good. This could be a problem. Going with a tight end screen of all things. Right now gets hit hard, and it's a 3rd down. Clock continuing to run. Can we get off of him? Thank you. We're going to go pass commit. Got to have some people in there to block. Oh, he's got someone. Throwing it out of bounds. He definitely could have tried to throw that one. They're going to go for the field goal, it looks like. So we absolutely got to try that timeout. We're going with a safe man block because we don't want to run into the kicker. That would be the absolute worst thing in the world right now. Kick is up, and it is barely good. Barely good. And they're going to tie the game up with just seconds left. Oh my goodness. We are in for a treat. This could be overtime. Most likely looking like it. 5 seconds left in the game. I mean, I feel like we got to let it go. Like, we got to actually give ourselves a play. All right, we give ourselves a play. We have an opportunity. Throwing this thing deep. It is caught from Reggie Virgil. No, he's not fast enough. Oh, my gosh. He had an opportunity to win the game with a walk-off touchdown. And he's just not quite fast enough to win the game. Oh my gosh. We're headed to overtime. Basically get a couple of possessions from the 25-yard line. And we got to go back and forth scoring touchdowns until eventually we can't kick extra points and we have to go for the 2-point conversions. Haven't really had a lot of overtime games in this game in College Football 25. So we'll get to be on offense first. They like to play defense, which is naturally the best way to do it, because you know exactly what you need to score, either a touchdown or a field goal. Kevin Davis might even be okay to come back at some point. Have to look at that. Great play from Javon Tracy. A nice first down and down to the 8. Really good throw from Tyler Toledo. Turnovers are definitely the worst thing in the world in these situations. So we're going to go no huddle on that. I think we go no huddle and we try to go right back with that same run up the middle. Going for it up the middle, and it's a touchdown for Danny Dunlap. Good play call. We knew we had an advantage from an offense to defensive line perspective, but we wanted to stress that a little bit more. Danny Dunlap collects 6 points from it. Extra point is up, and it is good, and so it's a 7-point lead, and Akron has to counter that. So we'll see what happens on the first drive for Akron, as that's a wide open route underneath for about 2 yards. I mean, to be honest, we'll give that. Like, you got to give up some space somewhere, and that's, of all places, that's not a bad spot to give it up, as he's going to run for a nice gain, but it's 3rd and 3. This time we try to have a spy out there on the 3rd down situation. Throwing it, and it is caught. Oh, he threw it right past Michael Yarbrough, who absolutely could have reached his hands up and deflected that. So here we are, dropping back, scrambling with it. Beautiful play call. Beautiful play call. That's a touchdown. That was excellent. We went immediately after the quarterback, since he's done it a few times and hasn't run with it. And he dumps it off to the running back in the flat for a beautiful score. Now we'll reverse, and Akron will be back out on offense again. It's their turn to play offense first here in round 2. Can we try to get a sack or something? Like anything to break up momentum here? As that is a beautiful, beautiful play from Walter So. I mean, he shot through the gap like a cannon. Bringing up a 2nd down. Run game, not a run. Gonna scramble with the QB, and he gets about 2 yards. They definitely had us all messed up there, I'll tell you that much. Glad that it didn't work out for them, as they get a spin move. Doesn't get much. It's a 4th down situation. It's a 4th down. We're going with the safe man. We don't want to give up anything, and we don't want to hit the kicker. Kick is up, and it is good. So they will get 3 points out of it. And all we need is 3 points to push it to round 3, but a touchdown will win the game. So we come back to the line of scrimmage. 1st down. Run game, getting hit hard, gains 1 yard. Not pretty when it's only 1 yard there. Throwing it, it's a fumble. Somebody pick it up. Somebody on our team pick it up. No, it's going to be a pickup by them. And Tyler Toledo is going to eliminate by himself our undefeated season. 40-31. Oh, we had such a wide open receiver that would have been a touchdown, and that would have ended the game. Oh my gosh. Makes matters worse with the scoop and score. Makes it look not even as close as it was. That's sickening. Tyler Toledo, though, 18 for 29, 251 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. The 2 fumbles. That's what single-handedly cost us the game. Those 2 fumbles were on drives that we could have had any points at all. And one was a scoop and score for a touchdown that put it on ice. Danny Dunlap had a great game, 12 for 55, just coming in a little bit of end-of-game action. Kevin Davis got his 109 yards on 16 carries in the touchdown. Receiving-wise, spread the ball around well. Reggie Virgil had 82 yards on 6 catches. 69 yards for Tony Purdom in a touchdown. Could have been 2 there at the end if it wasn't for the strip sack. But just, hey, sometimes the defense makes a play. And that's what it was. Caleb Tubbs, 7 tackles, which led the team. Zach Scoble and Ethan McDowell, 2 TFLs apiece. Couple sacks. Corbin had one for Ty and Eli Blakey, and then a half sack for Rayon Strader, Ethan McDowell, Zach Scoble, and Dalvin Ellerby, with 1 interception for Caleb Tubbs. I mean, I'm also still sick that that interception didn't count as an interception for Luke Evans, because that also would have ended the game. So there's a lot of things that happened. That one's definitely gonna hurt for a while because that one was taken away from us and then half given back and then just given away at the end. The loss on that visit week knocks us out of the CFP chance right now as we're sitting at 19 in the country. So we're still on the fringe and we can find a way to get back in there, but we only have 3 games left, so we have to win all 3 of them. And I mean, in conference standings, we're not even making the MAC Conference Championship, sitting at 4-1 in conference play. We do have a game against Ball State. That's the last home game of the season for us. So we need to beat Ball State or else we might not even make it to the conference championship game. We did end up signing the corner, though, that came for the visit. And I don't know, I feel like that's going to really put our chances of getting Tim Gizzy at stake here. I mean, I don't know about that. It's going to be currently week 12 now. So that's how far we got at the end of week 11. Week 12 should be right on the borderline of it. We are gaining slightly more than NC State. I'm more worried about Tennessee's also gaining quite a bit right now. So we still might have a chance to get him, but it's not I'm not very confident. So yeah, that's just super unfortunate that we ended up losing that game. We ended up really just blowing it, to be honest. And Tyler Toledo's going to have to take some reps towards making this better because he's had multiple games in this season where he's had more than 1 fumble. And in those games, both those games that I can remember, this one and I believe it was the Buffalo game, when he has a multi-fumble game, we have a very high chance of losing that game. Our defense is not quite good enough yet to be so great of ball hawks that we can overcome those 2 turnovers. So until we get to that point, we need to be even more conservative with the ball and not allowing our team to just give the ball away. The fumbles aren't necessarily even bad decisions at throwing the ball. He's not making a huge amount of bad decisions as far as where he's throwing the passes. He's just doesn't have any grip on the ball and he's dropping it. So either the offensive line needs to be better with the protections to be able to keep him from getting hit because we know he's going to fumble it, or he needs to get rid of the ball faster. Choose plays that are done much quicker so he doesn't have an opportunity to get sacked. Something else needs to be schemed up so we don't have to worry about him taking so many hits. But we're bringing in already at least 2 offensive linemen, 1 5-star and 1 4-star. We might even be bringing in a second 4-star offensive lineman. So the combo of that is going to be a filthy advantage for us because we already had a decent amount of O-line development over last season. Not really development, but off-season acquisitions for offensive line. So if we can kind of keep doing that and building a line around him, I think it'll significantly help us. But until then, we just have to find ways around it and find ways to scheme him to have enough protection to be able to complete the passes we want him to complete. Otherwise, the defense also just needs to tighten up a little bit. They have had times where they've looked fantastic, and then other times, like in the Akron game, we couldn't stop them no matter what. And it was very, very difficult knowing that fact because we needed to just limit the amount of times they touched the ball because we know they're just going to score every time. I think as we continue to get a little bit better with our secondary deep down the field, love the corner play that we have. Caleb Tubbs also does a lot of good work out there intermittently. He's not a complete lockdown guy, but he does have his handful of plays that work out really well. But would love to just have a little bit more development in that area because the central part of the field is just a little bit soft for us 9 times out of 10. But I'm interested to see what happens, especially now that it's a little bit more up in the air on who we're going to be getting for some of the recruiting class and if we're going to make it to the college football playoff. I mean, I don't think our team's good enough for that, so I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to missing the CFP. I mean, I definitely want to play as hard as we can to be able to have an opportunity to get there. But if we didn't make it, I would understand because our team is definitely not good enough to be in a position to make it right now. So I'd be shocked if we actually did make it. But we'll be playing against Ohio, our rivals, in the next matchup on the road for a little 2-game stretch before we come back home against Ball State to end out the season. So I'll see you guys in those ones. But until then, why don't you check out one of these videos?